So a few days ago, I posted a photo on Instagram showing off my gray hair because one of my friends shared a photo of her in her new hair color, and she was talking about how she just feels so much better when she has no grays in her hair because she's been graying, and she says that she just feels too young to start getting grays. Upon seeing that post, I thought, well, I love my grays, you know, and I want to share it with the world, and I want to share it because I want other people to feel more confident with their gray hair. So I posted that photo and I got a ton of responses from it. I got a lot of DMs, a lot of comments, and even emails about it and or talking about it. So I figured I'd just make a video and kind of talk about it a little bit. So this video is going to be a little bit about my gray hair journey. It's not much of a journey because I really haven't covered up my grays at all. It's just about the questions, the responses, the way people react to it, how I take care of my hair, etc. And I'm so excited to say that this video is sponsored by Amica. I've been using Amica for quite a while now. I've been featuring them in a lot of my videos, and I finally got their attention. So they reached out and asked if I wanted to be a part of their ambassador program. I was so excited they asked me because I love their soul food mask. I've talked about it so many times on this channel. I've recommended it to so many people, even all my friends use it. Throughout the last couple of years, I've processed my hair a ton. So I've bleached it twice, or bleached the bottom strands twice, which I'll go into later on in the video. I've also permed my hair, which was a big mistake because that was horribly damaging on my hair. It looked really cute, but oh gosh, it was so bad for my hair because it started like breaking off at the ends and everything. And so in the last couple months or so, I've been trying to focus on using the only products that will repair breakage. So I started using Amica's line called the Cure. So this is the shampoo and conditioner, which I use in the shower, obviously. When I come out of the shower as a leave-in treatment, I use this right here. This is the Cure Multitask Repair Treatment. So this is meant to be a rinse-off mask. So shampoo, conditioner, then this mask. And it's kind of like a liquidy formula. What you do is you kind of wring out your hair, you apply this, leave it in for a minute, and then rinse it out. But I found that if I put about a quarter size amount in the palm of my hand and then kind of distribute it through the ends of my hair, then it works really well as a leave-in treatment. So that's what I've been doing. And then I also use the closer, which is the instant repair treatment in my hair on days that I don't shampoo my hair or wash my hair. If you guys have any questions about Amica, I'll leave some info in the down bar as well. And thank you again, Amica, for sponsoring this video. Guys, I'm sorry that the light keeps changing. It's a really cloudy day out and I'm trying my best to readjust the levels and everything, but I hope it's not distracting. All right, so from the beginning, I started graying in my early 20s. I had a health condition and I was on medication, and it was so crazy because I could see my hair growth. Like it'll grow out white, black, white, almost like checkers, you know? So I'd see like the streaks and stuff, and it was so bizarre. That was also the time when my hair texture started changing as well. So when I was a kid, I used to have stick straight hair, and then it started like developing a little bit of a wave pattern. And then when I moved to Long Beach in my early 20s, because of the humidity, because of the water, my hair was super wavy all the time. And I really liked it. I felt like my hair was really healthy during that time. And then I started getting white hairs, and then the black hair or the darker hair started straightening out, but then the white hairs would be super wiry and curly, and yeah, it's just a whole process, right? My hair started rapidly graying. Like a lot of things changed as well, like physical things changed as well, but the hair was the most prominent thing. So I was in my early 20s and Alexa Chung was huge and everyone was doing the ombre hair thing, you know? So lighter on the bottom and then dark roots and stuff. So I actually didn't do that to my hair. It was just that my hair was so damaged and the texture of it, and like lack of nutrients and lack of care, really, because I never used conditioners or masks on my hair. The lack of care really just messed up my hair. So it started on the bottom and then it worked its way up, and it was just really brassy and brittle, and that was when I first started noticing breakage. Disgusting, disgusting breakage. Like I would just pull my hair like this and there would be a ton of little like eyelashes of hair. But still, I never cared for masks or anything. At the time I was using like a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner combo, because my boyfriend at the time used that shampoo conditioner, and at the time I thought it was fine because it smells good, but it was really drying out my hair and really messing up the texture. So yeah, eventually I chopped off my hair and it was chin length for a while, and that was the time when I started nourishing my hair or started putting oils in it and such. And it was still graying and everything. And in the beginning, when my hair started graying in my early 20s, my mom my mom and dad would be like, you know what, it's fine. It's just like a couple streaks here and there. This one day in my late 20s, I was at my dad's house, working on my computer, looking down and everything. And then my grandma, my dad's mom, came up from behind me and she just ripped out a huge chunk of my hair. She's like, you have so much, like literally grabbed it and ripped out. She's like, you have so much gray hair, look. And it was like mostly black hair that she pulled out, but also a few strands of gray hair, right? And I was just like, ow, like what the heck? And then my dad's like, oh yeah, you do. And he's just looking at it like, wow, it really changed out of nowhere, right? And it wasn't until, well, my early 30s that my parents started saying, hey, like, you should probably take care of it, you know? Being the middle child out of 5 kids, like, I've always been kind of rebellious. And yeah, I guess when they said that, I was just like, you know what? I'm definitely not gonna do it now. My hair started to gray a lot, like visibly on camera. So I noticed that a lot of people started pointing it out on YouTube videos. Some people will DM me and message me, or even comment that I should dye my hair. Or someone left a comment that really sucked. They said that I look dowdy. I didn't even know what dowdy meant, so I had to look it up. And then someone was like, that one wiry hair that's sticking out of your head is really distracting. I don't know, people would get really worked up about it. Like, not everyone, obviously, but there'd be one person here and there where they're like, hey, you would look much better if you just dye your hair. I'm not saying that I'm gonna keep it gray forever or not change it up or anything like that, because I think that a part of being a human is that you get to experiment with things and, you know, try out new looks and try out new makeup and trends and all of that, you know. I'm not saying that I'll stick to this forever, but what I'm saying is that whatever your choice is, you should be proud of it, you should be happy. And if you want to not wear makeup, then don't wear makeup. If you want to not dye your hair or shave your pit hair or just anything else really, like, just be proud of who you are, because you've only got yourself, you only have your own body in this lifetime. I remember last year I was in ceramics and there's this one girl who just bought a house and she's like really stressed out at the time. She's like, ugh, I found my first gray hair and you start dyeing my hair. And I just look at her like, what? And then her friend's like, I know someone who's gonna feel really passionate about that. I'm like, no, like, I don't feel any way about it. It's just, why would you say that about yourself, you know? Like, what's wrong with getting older? Isn't it all about aging gracefully, not anti-aging? We're all gonna get older, are we not? Like, whatever our decisions are, whatever our choices are, like, we should do it gracefully. We shouldn't be bummed out about it, you know? There's this one issue from Kinfolk. It's called The Grace of Gray. And I remember when it came out, that's when I started rapidly graying. I remember flipping through it and everyone just seemed so comfortable with who they are. I guess just in those pictures, it was very inspiring for someone like me at the time, because that's when I started graying and that's such a vulnerable thing. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that if you decide to dye your hair, if you decide to wear makeup or like shave your hair or whatever, just do what makes you feel comfortable and happy, but also don't put down other people who decide not to do whatever you do. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So a couple years ago, I realized that if I added a bit of highlights, then it'll make the grays, because they mostly just grow up here. I figured that if I add a bit of highlights on the bottom, that it'll kind of blend in. So I asked Daisy to do that for me. So she did a little balayage and I thought that looked amazing. And then I permed my hair and it was just a lot of breakage. And then last year around this time, I decided to go in and put in gray streaks to kind of match the top of my hair. I went to Sherry of Art Form Studio. So she went through, took her time and really put in some gray streaks and it looked amazing. It was a lot of upkeep though, like a lot of toning at home. I had to use toning conditioners and all that, and yeah, I just couldn't get the levels right or anything like that. So just recently she went and cut off much of it. I think I'm just gonna try and grow it out as healthy as possible and grow it out long again. In the last week I cut off about like 6 inches total. So I had a couple of you guys ask about how to take care of white hair or gray hair because the texture is different. So the rest of my hair is mostly straight, but the white hairs that grow in are kind of wiry, they're a bit curly. So what I do is right when I get out of the shower, I'll put on a hat, or I've been wearing a scarf actually, so it kind of lays down my hair a little bit. So anything that's like a baby hair or a curly hair, it just kind of rests on top. And the great thing is that there's circulation, so your hair can still dry, but once it's dry, it's pretty flat. And there's not a lot of life to it too, so you kind of have to come back in and zhuzh it up. But I found that that's great for laying down those wiry hairs. Someone asked me about how I transitioned to gray hair, and I don't think it was much of a transition because I never really dyed my hair. I didn't dye it like a darker pigment or black or anything like that in order to hide the grays. I just added bleach to the bottoms or in streaks to make it look more even. So I guess that makes the transition a bit easier on my end. But if you are someone who is currently dyeing your hair, there's so many different things that you can wear, like hats and stuff, and hats, scarves. You can also use henna in your hair until your root comes out. But then I also have seen so many people during this pandemic, like at grocery stores and stuff, where they'll let their hair grow out, and it's a stark transition, but I don't know, I think it looks really cool. Like Agnes Varda has that transition, right? Or that stark mark, right? If you're insecure about it, my mom dyes her hair every 6 weeks. And at the beginning of the pandemic, she was using a scarf to hide the white. She was also using like thicker headbands, like the Brigitte Bardot kind of headbands. If you have any feedback, I want to hear. So if you have gray hair, if your hair is starting to gray, what are you doing with it? Are you doing anything about it? Are you letting it grow out? Are you dyeing it? Really, there's no pressure on any decision. Just be mindful of other people's decisions and don't force them into doing anything that they don't want to do. Be mindful of other people's choices and do what makes you feel the most confident yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything to share, please leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.